Hi everyone, welcome to a Brew with the Crew. I'm Hugh, this is Lee, and today we're talking about the WVD Fast Start.
G'day Hugh, cheers my man.
Cheers.
So tell me, what is WVD Fast Start? It's Windows Virtual Desktop for a start, right?
Yeah, Windows Virtual Desktop.
Right, so what's Fast Start?
So we have an offering now, the WVD Fast Start, which is a quick version of deploying Windows Virtual Desktop in your environment so you can test it out. Okay. It's really something to get it up and running as quick as possible so that you can test your applications, test the process and the experience.
So like a boxed up pilot type thing.
A boxed up pilot, exactly, yeah.
And okay, so Fast Start, so how fast is fast?
Fast is very fast.
Very fast.
Yeah, we like to go fast.
Not like the NBN fast.
Not the NBN fast, no, faster. No, fast is reasonably fast. We don't want to rush things. And there are a few prerequisites to make sure that we can hit the ground running with that process.
Yep.
Generally, we can get a WVD pilot up and running in 2 weeks.
Okay, that's pretty quick. And what would people typically use once they've got WVD fast started? What would they typically use it for?
Good question. There's plenty of use cases with WVD at this point in time. Remote working is one of them. Access to corporate apps where they reside, so application speed, etc. Enabling scale up and scale down of workloads, seasonality, exactly.
So is it right to say, does WVD that drives, you've got to start paying for Azure consumption when you start using WVD, right?
Yeah. So you've got the license type. That you get entitlement for WVD for, which is the M365 products mostly. And then on top of that, a lot of businesses would have that already. On top of that, you pay for the Azure consumption, the storage, and the egress network costs as well.
Okay, so that scale up, scale down is really pretty important then, right? Because
indeed, yeah.
If you go past Fast Start and this is really successful, and then you start to just plow workloads, obviously that Azure cost is going to go up. You need to have that scale up, scale down capability. Is that something that is possible that you can do?
Yeah, so we can automate, I guess, the uptime of your workloads so that we're not burning through the night if you don't need to. And for capacity, we can scale to capacity and scale down with capacity as well.
Yeah, because the scale down will be the critical one, right?
Scale down is critical, exactly. Yeah. So not just for multi-session workloads, which is where multiple people log onto one virtual machine, but also for your personal desktops as well. We can build in some automation there as well to save costs, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And in your experience, what is that user experience like going from, say, someone that's got similar to what we were talking about Ideal, right? You've got a laptop that you're familiar using Windows 10. Tomorrow someone says we're no longer running that way. You're going to be using an instance of Windows Virtual Desktop. Yeah,
so, well, it could be multiple scenarios there. One, most users would see the exact same thing. Windows 10 desktop presented to them on the desktop. You can use Ideal to connect to it. You can use a Windows 10 computer to connect to it. You can use anything, right?
So they tie together nicely, IGL and WVD.
They do. And then the other thing you can do is just present single applications to desktops as well, just like you would with any application virtualization type platform. And present a single application, line of business application that you need to virtualize because of some reason, and put that on the user's desktop or in some way let them have access.
Right. That sounds great. What about so if not WVD Fast Start and if not WVD, what else would people do?
So, well, a few options there. If you're not considering WVD, you're probably considering something like Citrix, Amazon Workspaces, or VMware Horizon. Plenty of options for virtualization of desktop. There's lots of options to consider there, right? WVD is great because the cost is generally lower. But you have to make sure that it's fit for purpose as well.
Yeah, cool.
The other thing we can do is not just build a WVD instance. We could simultaneously.
That's where I was going, right? If it's not just beyond, say, someone says, look, I get WVD, I understand the value proposition, it makes sense to me. Fast Start thing, I know I'm going to go down that route. Right? I've made the decision WVD is for me. What's the roadmap look like then for somebody that doesn't want to look at, say, Fast Start?
Yeah, fair enough. So we can do all sorts of options, right? So we have a pilot, we can do a pilot proof of concept, or even a full production deployment and scale up of that service for you as well. So over time, so to give you the full experience, and we can manage that whole process for you. That's it.
Is it fair to say that it lends itself nicely? So beyond WVD Fast Start, so somebody goes down that route and then they go beyond that and say, right, now we've done Fast Start successful, we're going to deploy this in anger. But the challenge for us is we used to manage physical desktops and laptops and so on. We have no real desire to manage WVD and Azure and all that Azure paraphernalia that sits around it all. Is that something that you see an opportunity in, or you see something that people would look at? Yeah. As far as a managed desktop?
Yeah, we can also deploy it as a managed service as well. That's right. So WVD managed services are essentially managing the whole environment just as we would with Citrix,
Yep.
and making sure that it's running, optimized, and we can even integrate optimization packages to it as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I guess to wrap it up, so in summary then really you're looking at WVD Fast Start is to get up and running quickly
Yep.
on WVD in Azure. Second to that, if you go beyond Fast Start, is deployment services, configuration on a broader scale, then moving into managed services to manage the desktop and even look at maybe even desktop DR as a service.
Yep, absolutely.
Fundamentally. So there's a whole wrapper around Windows Virtual Desktop and the way in which you can access it and use it.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Awesome, mate.
Yeah.
That sounds cracking.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Well, thanks very much, everyone, and looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. Cheers.